All right, so as you can tell by the title of the video, I failed the Xometry test part. Let's hop on my computer and I'll go over the results. All right, here is the final inspection report, and I'm just gonna go down to where I did not pass. So it was from the quarter 20 threads, and I know exactly why I didn't pass. I'll go over that after we look over everything else. So everything else was a pass. The only other thing that was close was this linear dimension, 3.500. I got a 3.505 on all three measurements with their calipers, which I had measured a 3.504 and some change. So I probably should have done another spring pass, but I figured that I would be, fine. But obviously I was a little bit closer than I wanted to be. But everything else was, on the money. They used a gauge pin for the 1.88 plus or minus a thou. I nailed that. The other plus or minus a thou on the 1.205. I was right in the middle, which is right where I aimed for. And then everything else was looking really good. All the surface finishes, looked really good. So yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. Even though I failed, after I get out of this, I'll show you guys exactly why I failed. All right, so here is the confession and probably the reason that I failed. All right, so here is my tool cart, and this is my thread mill, my quarter 20 thread mill. And as you can see, I don't have enough distance on here to get all the way threaded through here. So what I ended up doing was I started off with the thread mill, and I ended up coming back with a cheap Harbor Freight tap, and I ran it through the rest of the way. So I'm guessing that by doing that, it threw the threads off a little bit. And even though I was able to take some quarter 20 all thread and run it down, and it felt smooth going in and out, as soon as they took their go, no-go gauge, it probably wasn't going to work out for me, which, that's probably the biggest suggestion that I'd have for anybody doing the test, is to make sure that you have your go, no-go gauge before you do this. Because had I had my own go, no-go gauge, which I had wanted to order, but I knew that it wouldn't show up in time, I would have caught that issue and I would have passed the part. So just having all of your inspection equipment before you even try the test would be super beneficial. So for me, this was more, fun and a challenge for me than it was for me relying on Xometry to, make me money. Like, look, I got this old tree mill. All I've done to it is replace the Z ball screw. Other than that, I got it with the centroid control already installed. So the retrofit was already done, but it's like, this is a early 90s machine, and I haven't done any maintenance on it other than that ball screw. And it's putting out, remarkable tolerances for what it is. So I think that says a lot about the tree mills and the centroid retrofit, and maybe a little bit about me, that I'm on the right track. So I'm confident that I could send them another test part after I got a go, no-go gauge of my own and pass. But at this point, honestly, I think my time is better off spent making videos and just to keep learning and making my own parts. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't say that to discourage anybody from trying Xometry and trying their test part and taking a stab at it, because on that last video, I got a bunch of great comments. You know, a lot were negative, but I had guys reach out to me personally and basically say that they started Xometry a couple years ago and it turned into their full-time thing. So it's definitely possible. I don't think it's possible with my current machine, which is why I'm kind of taking a pause on it. I was real excited to do the test part. Again, I think my time is better off, you know, getting out here in the shop, filming some content, learning machining, and then hopefully, you know, see where it goes from there. So if you enjoy machining content as much as I do, stick around. I'm gonna be finishing up the video I'm currently working on, which is some low profile Saunders-like vices that will work with my T-slots. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.